Hey guys, Coach Simpson here. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time coming here, I've been trying to put out content football-wise and rotate different topics. This week will be about buck sweep, which is my favorite play. If you can't tell by the shirt, by the hat, by all my stuff I've put out, if I could pick a play I personally enjoyed, I really enjoy teaching the buck sweep. And so a lot of this information I've learned the hard way. A lot of this information I've learned from really good wing tee coaches. Rick Stewart, Roger Holmes, there's some really good ones out there. I'd highly recommend if you're looking to run buck sweep, I can teach you some things, but I would also go to them and get their stuff. Get the more information you can get, I think the better you're going to be as a coach. On that note, if you would like to get more in depth on buck sweep, I have a lot of stuff on my website, fbcoachsimpson.com, where you can get game film and everything else you want to see with buck and other plays we run out of our offense. Or I've got courses on CoachTube. I'll try to put that in the description for you. So yesterday we talked about 9 techniques being a problem. So really good 9 technique. What are some answers for that? So the next one I'm looking at going through is a shaded nose. How are we going to handle, that could be a head up nose who's just dominant, or it could be a guy who's even actually shaded or slanting to the strong side. If you're playing a 3-front defense or even a 4-front that's going to an under front, this is kind of one of their solutions to stop buck sweep. The first solution we talked about yesterday was that 9 technique, and you can go back in these videos and watch that. You can also go back in these videos. There's an hour-long course on buck sweep that you can watch. And of course, I've got stuff on my website and CoachTube. So let's talk about a shaded nose now. For us, the first few things we're going to look at doing is figure out a couple things our center might be able to do. So can our center handle this guy? If we do, and we start going through the different ideas here. So usually if we see a nose who's shaded, we're probably going to see a 4 or a 5 technique that's playing C-gap. That guy's usually playing C-gap. We rarely are going to see a team play a 3 technique and a shaded nose, because that's not a hard problem for us, because now our down block ought to naturally go into that shaded nose. So one of the things we will do is we will condense our splits. Basically from the tackle to the center. Instead of going 2 or 3 foot splits, we may be looking at 6 to 12-inch splits. And what that does is a lot of times there's a 3 technique. We're going to get enough traffic in there where all the center has to do basically is get enough on this guy. Just get a little bit on him. We'll get him sealed with the kind of that wall of down blocks that's coming from our strong tackle all the way over. If that doesn't work, let's say that this guy's still making plays, he's just killing our center, then we go to the way we've started teaching buck sweep if our tackle can get a free release. So let's say we have a 5 technique or a 4 who's slanting, which is kind of common. It's a kind of a common look we will see, is we will actually tell our strong tackle, condense your split. You're aiming for the back rear end cheek of this player. And that generally turns into a kill shot. Because our center's job, we tell, hey, look, we just need you to try to get some kind of vertical push. Just get on this guy, don't let him blow you back, and then he's gonna get ear holed by this tackle. So our tackle will work all the way through there and then try to go second level. Now the reality of that is, if you do it this way, there's a good chance that guy does not get blocked, okay, or doesn't get blocked by your strong tackle. So you gotta have some answers in there. And again, I'd recommend a lot of the courses I've got and other guys have got on how to RPO and read this player. You know, so we've got a lot of reads. We know calling plays, if we're going to be making that adjustment, we're going to have either what we call our peak read or our key read or something else where we're reading a player, because the reality is very rarely is he going to be able to make that block. Now we do teach it, so we teach him to step down, back hip. It's kind of that gallop step that you would do on a double team where we're just throwing that shoulder, and then we want to try to work upfield to get onto that backside linebacker. But if we can't do it, we know we've got to RPO it. So shaded nose, first few things, we're going to condense our splits, take our strong tackle through that guy if you have the ability. Okay, we've not had the ability before, but if you have the ability, the other adjustment would simply be down block with your guard and pull kick with your center. Okay, you may not want to go that route. To me, that's kind of an expensive way to do that because we don't really practice our centers on pull kicking. But if your center is one of your better players, that is another easy solution. It'll also really mess with the keys from the defense. So just a couple things you can look at doing to make this work for you running the buck sweep. Appreciate you guys' time. Again, if you want more information, I've got it all over my website. I've got it on Coach2. I've got it 100 different places. I've actually got a book somewhere up here that has it all drawn up and all the flavors of how you can run that. And all that can be found on fbcoachsimpson.com. Next couple days we'll be going through blitzing, how to handle blitzing, how to handle a backside 4 or 3, that backside defensive lineman is just crashing and following the guard, and then trying to have different ways to get your numbers right to get what you want to run buck sweep. So if you haven't already done so, I'd appreciate if you'd like and subscribe to this video, and hopefully you'll enjoy the next few that are coming out.